Hi, this is Keeping It Real with Jackie. Since I'm keeping it real, let me fill everyone in on my childhood. When I was growing up, it was hard. My parents had divorced. I still remember my mom came home one morning and me and my sister Donna was sitting there. We were getting ready for school. Before my dad left, he said, "If your mom comes home, call me. If she tries to take you with her." I think he knew then it was over. I think he knew she had enough. And me and my sister went to pick up the phone. We looked at each other and said, "We should call Daddy." We picked up the phone to call, and my mom walked in and said, "What are you doing? Decide now. It's either him or me." And as a kid, you don't know who to choose. You don't know what to do. And you don't want to hurt your mom, and you don't want to hurt your dad. And so we picked up the phone and put it down. My mom took us in the car. She told us to pack as much stuff as we could. And we destroyed our room, packing up as much stuff that meant something to us. And then she picked up my siblings from school. My dad had already dropped my brother off to the babysitters, and he had dropped, well, my sister had already took the bus. So she picked her up from high school, and we headed out to Philadelphia to her sister's house. That night, all I heard was screaming on the phone between my parents. And over time, my mom, I saw her struggling, trying to maintain everything and keep it together. And she was searching from house to house in Philly, trying to figure out her next move. And after a while, her and my father, it became hostile to the point their marriage was like, it wasn't even a marriage anymore. It was more or less hatred. This hatred. I never saw people hate each other so much. And I remember one night when we were at my mom's friend's house where we had landed in Akko. And I'm hearing my dad scream at my sister, "Tell me where you are. Tell me where you are." And she didn't tell him. So he was so mad, he said, "You're not my daughter. I don't know where you came from. None of you are my kids. You're not my kids. You're some other man's kids." And when my sister heard that, she broke down crying. Like, he reached into her heart and reached into her soul. And she didn't understand why he was acting that way. And then over time, we lived with my mom, who went from guy to guy. And every guy treated her so horribly. They would use her, steal her car, And she was slowly losing herself. It was like she was becoming someone I didn't recognize. It's like her soul was being tainted on so many levels. But after a while, I saw she stopped being with guys altogether and started to sit to herself and drink Southern Comfort. It was like she lost herself. And we would have moments at times where we would go without electricity and just sit in the dark for months at a time. Sometimes she would send us away, but sometimes her family wouldn't take us, so we would have to sit in the house. And we couldn't invite friends over, and we had to learn how to use the grill. When we didn't have money for things, the food we did have in the cooler, we would have to cook on the grill because we had no way of cooking anything, and we would have to wash at the sink with cold water. The coldest water on earth, it felt like. And we would have to steal water from the neighbors' hoses. And sometimes we would go without a house phone. And we would have to depend on the neighbors to give us messages if we had any messages. And I remember one night, me and my brother was alone in the house. He was young. He was a sensitive kid. And I was taking care of him. And I was waiting for my sister to bring us food. My mom decided she wanted to visit her sister in Philadelphia. And she didn't leave us any money, and the refrigerator was bare. And my sister promised to bring us food back, but she didn't come back till 3 in the morning. So the whole night, I listened as my brother cried in my arms. I held him so tight. And he said, "I'm hungry, Jackie. I'm hungry. What are we going to do?" So all I could do is tell him it will be okay. We'll be okay. And I found toothpaste. And I told him, "Eat this. This will stop your hunger. Eat this." And I didn't know what else to do. I was a kid myself. And I ended up raising my little brother by myself. My older sister had left home. And my other older sister had moved out somewhat. She was running the streets and always at friends' houses. So I had this little boy's life in my hands. My mom, she was always at bingo or out somewhere, or if she was home, it's like she wasn't home. She was always sitting at the computer drinking Southern Comfort, which was her alcohol of choice.